Our next question is from Gerard, who says, for my November novel project, not sure where I'm doing it this year. You can work on it with us. I plan on writing a multi-POV novel. I am concerned my multi-POVs will all sound alike. As I prep in October, do you have any suggestions on what I can work on to make sure my POVs have distinct voices in November?
Yes, definitely. So this goes back to the first question we talked about, right? Is get in your character's head. What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And you can just brainstorm this, brain dump it on a piece of paper. What are things they value? How do they feel about certain vices or certain virtues? Like, just kind of think about, like, what are the things that makes them unique? Are they dog lovers, cat lovers? Do they have a weird affinity for outer space? Like, do they cook? What are these things? And then think about how that, if you're a person who likes to cook, how would that color your day-to-day thoughts, experiences, actions, reactions? One example I always like is in the first Court of Thorns and Roses book by Sarah J. Maas. Her character is eventually a painter, and she sees a lot of things like for the colors. Like, she'll look at the nature and she'll really notice the greens, or she'll really notice the blue, and like that makes her special and unique, where other characters aren't painters, so they don't care, you know? So really just, I think, dig into them and explore. And again, you don't have to get it perfect, but that'll help you get on the path of creating distinct characters.
I love that. Also, check out our Crafting Dynamic Characters course with Mary Cole. She does, of course, talk about crafting a dynamic character who changes throughout your novel. But there's also some bits on how you're showing that character and how, like in context, or is your character likely to use a lot of description language or not, or long sentences or short sentences, or there's like some really good exercises in there to kind of find each character's voice that you might check out.
Yeah. And on that note, I'm sure in that course, she talks about like what's their internal obstacle, what's their fear, wound, whatever we want to call it. And that really colors how we show up in the present. So, if like, let's pretend I'm afraid of the ocean. And I live in an ocean town, like that's going to color how I show up, right? Or if I have issues with my mom or my dad, that's going to color maybe how I show up with certain people. So all of that is good work. And just think you're always in your character's worldview, right? When you're writing in their perspective, unless you have an omniscient narrator, which I think most of us don't. But you're always in their perspective. So in their perspective lives all of these things we just talked about.
If you enjoyed this video, we've got a lot more on writingmastery.com. Check the description for links to our blog, free writing tools, and more. Happy writing.